Hey guys, welcome to Cross Stitch Revival. This is my, I think, 12th floss tube, maybe 13th, I don't know. We'll see when I upload this and fix the description box. It is Thursday, February 26th, I believe, and I'm already getting distracted by the reflection in my glasses. This happens every time, but this is the best light that I have. I'm right in front of the window in my dining room.
And just gotta get computer issues.
This is Parker. He just woke up. So let's get started. Alright, I'm gonna take a look at my notes. Alright, so topic of this week is the weather. I live in South Carolina, so if you looked at all the snow maps, we were one of the states that did not get any snow, and I'm very thankful for that. I could not believe what was going on in Texas. My heart goes out to all of you guys in Texas that it was horrific watching all the people who were suffering without heat and water. It broke my heart. So if you're watching, you're in Texas and you suffered anyway, I'm so sorry. I hope that things are better now, that things are getting back to normal. And here in my neck of the woods, we just got tons and tons and tons of rain. So thank goodness for rain boots. Every time I walk my dogs, I put on my rain boots and it was like out my yard. Parker's playing with the dogs. Hopefully that doesn't bother you. My last video I uploaded, it posted after Valentine's Day, but it was before Valentine's Day when I recorded it. So I hope everyone had a nice Valentine's Day. I mentioned before we're not really big on Valentine's Day around here. And we don't usually do presents. I did get my husband he requested and the only reason he requested this was because it was a special Valentine's Day edition. He collects Funko Pops, and he collects the bad guys. So from like comics and Star Wars and things. So in his office, he has shelves with the bad guys. So anyway, the villains from like Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. So he wanted the pink Stormtrooper. So I'll put a picture up for those of you who may care. You probably don't. But he wanted I think it's like a Cupid Stormtrooper. Okay, so puppy drama. So I got him his Stormtrooper, and he did get me a little gift. He got me some miniature roses that I can plant in my yard. And I have a black thumb. I kill everything. But last year during the beginning of quarantine, we planted some flowers, and I worked really hard to keep them alive, and I was mostly successful. So, and he also got me some pecans. We have a local business here with a pecan. I guess you'd say it's not a farm. It's just they have a lot of pecan trees, and they harvest and they produce. They make their own flavored pecans. So, and based on where you are, pecan, we say pecan. So anyway, there were milk chocolate covered pecans, white chocolate covered pecans, cinnamon pecans, and praline pecans, and I shared them with him, and they were gone really quickly. They were delicious. So we actually have a pecan tree in our backyard, and we bought this house 8 years ago, and pecans produce they produce every year, but they produce pecans like with the actual nut inside every 2 years. So every other year it's like an empty shell, and the first year we moved in was a year that it produced. So we were just blown away. We had all these pecans. We went and bought this special roller that you roll in the ground, and it brings up all the pecans, so it helps you harvest them all. We had so many. We gave them away. We kept them for ourselves. We froze them. We sold some by the pound. We actually made some money off of them. It was glorious. Pecans. I mean, just like tons of pecans. And then 2 years later, our next harvest, we had a bunch of fat squirrels. So every year since then, we have not had pecans because the squirrels have taken over. We have a pecan tree, the neighbor's yard has a pecan tree, and the squirrels have stolen all of our pecans. So we have fat and happy squirrels, and we have no pecans. So that's 3 or 4.
Didn't pecans taste good for me?
Yeah, pecans are yummy, but we have to buy them now because the squirrels eat and bury all of our pecans. So, yay for squirrels. So anyway, I forgot to show this on my previous Flosstube.
I want to eat the squirrels.
You want to eat the squirrels? When I was putting up my Christmas tree, I had some ornaments that were from my mom's tree from when I was growing up, and I found this ornament and I just lost it. If you have been watching me since my first Flosstube, you may remember that my first cross-stitch project was one that I actually kind of stole from a home ec room. I call it petty theft. I found a little cross-stitch project I was in a day camp, and it was in a drawer, and I just helped myself to it. I was about 14, maybe 14 or 15, and yeah, I may have even been 13. And I took it home and I stitched it. Now, of course, that's like very embarrassing, but I'm sure, you know, in my mind it was like, oh, I didn't think the teacher would mind me taking it. And of course, now that teacher probably wouldn't have minded, but I just, you know, I can't believe I just took it home. But anyway, I found the project, and this is my first cross-stitch project.
What? What?
This right here.
It looks nice.
Oh, that is so sweet. He said it looks nice. Oh, that's so sweet. It's a stocking, and I actually was really surprised at my stitches. And what's so funny though is okay, so you can see where I followed the back stitch to do the stocking, but then the hand stitching is what's hilarious to do the felt. So like these black lines is where, I don't know, like I don't know what I was doing, because you can see the outline of the stocking, but for some reason I have all these black lines. So anyway, I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that still exists. And I hung it on my tree, and it has a little wire hanger. So I stitched it, and I hand sewed the felt, turned it inside out. And you know, at this time I had hand sewn some Barbie clothes and things like that. I had no idea what I was doing. My mom didn't sew. She crocheted a little bit, but I just kind of like taught myself to thread a needle and just did my best. But I love it. It's such a hot mess. But Parker said I did a good job, so maybe I did. Thank you, honey. That was sweet.
Wait, how's it a hot mess?
Well, see the edges, they're a little rough. But you know what? You're right. Mommy, to be a beginner, Mommy did a good job.
Well,
we should be proud of our work, right? That's what I tell you.
The lines don't matter.
That's right. Okay, so moving along. It's been a couple weeks since my last video. I missed a bunch of stitching days. I had a bunch of migraines, so there were a lot of days I didn't get to stitch, but I still got a lot done. And so I have one finish, and I have several whips. I made some project bags. Haven't done any more quilting on my quilt projects. Excuse me. And then I have, I've just learned about this thing called March Madness. I saw Janet Jabber talking about it, and then I saw a couple people on Instagram post about it. So apparently it's something that the Steel City Stitchers do, which I had never watched their Flosstube before, and so now I went over to watch their Flosstube. I love their Flosstube, so now I have a new Flosstube channel that to watch, so that's awesome. And if you're unfamiliar with it, I will link the March Madness Flosstube that they showed. But basically, if you're familiar with March Madness basketball, it's where the basketball teams play each other into a playoff. And what they do is they produced a bracket, and you can make it fit however you want. And you the way that I'm going to do it is I'm probably going to pick, my plan is to do 8 whips. I don't even know if I have 8 whips I want to try. I may do like 6 whips and 2 starts. I'm not sure. And then I'm going to have people vote on Instagram. Now, I don't have a ton of people on my Instagram. So, and that's okay. You don't need like 60,000 people on your Instagram to participate. So if you're like me and you just are going to have a few people voting, you know, don't feel bad about that. If you want to participate in something, participate, you know.
Also, your so video got 50,000.
Yes, it did. I have this one video that has a bunch of views, and he was talking about that. It's this video I made about how to make homemade laundry detergent soap, and I made it years ago, and I never looked at it again, and it had a bunch of views, and he's proud of that. So it's hilarious to me, because I don't make that anymore.
That was when Minecraft was at its golden age.
Yeah. So anyway, mostly the whips that I showed in my whip parade are going to be what I use for this. So I'm not going to go over that again, because my last video, I just went through all those whips. But if you don't already follow me on Instagram, and you are on Instagram, please add me. I'm at Crystal Rowe, and what I'm going to do is the 1st of March and the 2nd of March, I'm going to stitch projects, and then have you vote, and this 3rd and 4th, and then have you vote for 5th and 6th, 7th and 8th, and then the winners, I'm going to stitch the winners, and then I'm going to work on till I have one final winner, and then I'm going to try to finish that project through the end of March. I'm not only going to stitch on those projects because I don't want to stop stitching my other whips that are important to me, like my Winter Rose Manor and things like that.
Post?
So I'll still stitch on other things.
You still post?
Yes, I still post. And I'm not very active on Instagram, but I'm trying to be more active. Because it's a great community for cross stitching. So I'm working on that. So anyway, that I just think that sounds like a lot of fun, and I'm late to the game when it comes to this, but I'm gonna jump in and work on it, and maybe next year I can have more time to plan. But in a way, I don't know, I don't really need time to plan. So
there's my last picture.
Yeah. Okay, so now Parker's pulled up my Instagram. He's looking at it. Okay. I'm going to make him my official Flosstube personal assistant. Let me take a drink here. As Mama Loves You GB, she says a little wet of the whistle. Alright. Y'all need me to get to the cross stitching, I know. My finish. Okay. So my first finish is I'm sorry, I didn't bring the little picture over here with me. Mrs. Claus Cookie Shop, I think it's called. This is part of the classic Country Cottage Needleworks Santa's Village. And the snow's not showing up at all. You can see it more in person. It's not. There we go. You can see a little bit more there.
The last picture of Cookie.
You can kind of see my hoop mark where I put this in a hoop. when I got done, there's the hoop mark, to do the French knots. And let me tell you what, I'm going to zoom in and show you my awful French knots. They are like, they're not even knots. They're just like little loop-de-loos. They're so, they gave me fits. But I was to the point where I had redone them. And I just said, whatever. This thing, my plan for this thing is for it to go up on my mantle. No one is going to be up there with a magnifying glass looking at these French knots. So as long as they stay in there, I'm done with those French knots and those cookies. And that's probably the way I'm going to be with this whole piece. If I can just get them decent, you know, and the more I practice, I'm sure the better I'll get. But I really love this. I have 11 more to go. I have to order the next pattern, so that's going to set me back. I'm probably going to have to do like Mania or Jolly July to get ahead in this to get it done by Christmas. But I do want to get it done by Christmas.
What dog was this? What dog is this?
He's asking me a question about my Instagram. Okay, so I did make 4 project bags. This is one of the project bags I made, and I made this to put Santa's Village in. This one, as you can see from the wrinkled vinyl, this one I had tried to do the fold over binding method, and it was an absolute disaster. So I kind of restarted and then did where I added the binding later. So, and then I cut off their heads, like off with their heads. Headless polar bears. But they're still cute. So we have headless polar bears on top. And this is for my Santa's Village or any kind of Christmas project. And this is a Ruby Star Society fabric. And then this is a speckled fabric on the inside. And the vinyl front is still my favorite kind of project bag because you can see what's inside. But I'm learning to love different kinds of project bags. So I made an assortment of project bags. So that's my one finish, and I am counting that as a finish even though there's a set of 11. That's still a finish. So onto my whips. This is another project bag I made. I used the Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch tutorial that she posted, I think it was last week. And this was a lot of fun. This fabric I showed a couple Flosstubes ago. This is, I think it's called Flower Market. It's a Riley Blake Designs fabric. And it looks like it is little embroidery hoops. I bought it in 2 colorways. And the whip inside is Just My Top by It's So Emma from Fat Quarter Shop.
Get Chris. Get Chris so it doesn't I like voices from me.
I can't do that, but just wait till I'm done. Okay. So, I'm still 11 stitching on this. What I did is okay. So, I went down, I did my hearts. I've outlined this so that like if I'm on the phone with my mom or something, I can just fill in the white and not think about it. I did the same thing over here. I outlined and then I did the red. I can just fill in with the, well, it's Tusk. It's Classic Colorworks Tusk, but you know, it's white. This is a lot of fun. I love this fabric. I'm not sure how I will finish it because it already looks like wood. I'm not sure, like putting it on a wood. I don't know. I don't know how I'll finish it. But it matches the project bag. So, I'll link that tutorial as well if you're interested. This is a small start. This is in one of the Gingham on the Go bags. This is the Appalachian Santa Mill Hill kit. This is Allegheny Santa. I just started it. There's not much to show. So, I didn't get much of a start on this, so we'll see. I'm excited to work on this though. I'm excited to try the beading. I want to do all the Santas, so I hope once I get to the beading I don't find it too difficult, because I have my hopes up that I can do a ton of these Santas over time. Okay, and my next one that I did, I did a new start, and this is in my project bag that I keep all of my stitching with the Housewives projects in. I started April trucking along, and I did decide to do these as one piece. I talked about that before. I didn't know if I wanted to separate them or do them as one piece. I decided to do them as one piece, and I'm going to use, I bought the Walmart house that everybody went crazy over. I jumped on the bandwagon. I've had this sitting over in my sewing stuff since this time last year pretty much, and I'm going to use that to store them. Oh, and I've never addressed the cat things on our whiteboard. This is sticker art that my son has done. So if you're wondering what those are, they are little teeny tiny stickers. They're like, if you ever seen paint by numbers, it's sticker by number, and that's a sticker by number art pieces. So this is how far I've gotten, and this is a lot of fun. I think it's even cuter in person than on the chart, which, you know, they usually are. So I started with the April on the right side, and I love that. I really, really want to have this up in frame for April. So we'll see. We'll see how that happens. Okay, so this is my project bag for Winter Rose Manor, which mine is getting to be a Winter Rose Mansion, because I'm stitching it on 25 counts Prim by Lori Holt, so it's huge. And because of that, I ran into my first issue this week. I started adding my windows and I ran out of lumber. So by lumber I mean palomino. Because it's bigger, I'm using more floss. So I'm going to have to order floss for this whole thing. I think what I'm going to have to do, and you can see I've put in my windows, started adding my curtains, and I had to add curtains here with no window frame. I think I'm just going to order all the called for floss. I'm going to order, if it's called for one skein, I'm going to order one more. If it calls for two, I'm going to order two more. From the same shop that I ordered originally, and hope that I get the same dye lot. If I don't, I'll make it work. Because it's equivalent to 12 and a half, you know, what's that called? 12 and a half count. It's just using more floss. So I have already ran out with the palomino, and looking at the chart, there's a lot more than just that window that I need the palomino for. So it's going to cost me quite a bit of money to do that, but because this project is so important to me, you know, I want to do that. And I worked on this. It was my brother's birthday this past week, my late brother's birthday, and if this is your first floss tube with me, this is a tribute that I'm doing for my mom, and for me and my late brother. So I worked on this on his birthday to honor him. Okay, so one more project bag I made was, I did this style, which is just like a huge zipper bag.
This like honor stuff in the Instagram. Question.
No. This is a fabric that I ordered from Etsy, and I love it. It says keep calm and read on. I'd rather be reading. I'd rather be reading. Sorry, my weekend is all booked. I love this, and it ended up being a lot smaller than what I planned, so this will just be for smaller projects. And I started the Country Cottage Needleworks March Cottage of the Month. I received this as Stitchy Kindness from a Stitchy friend. You know who you are. And she had bought doubles. She said, hey, do you want to stitch this? And I said, yes. So, I got a decent start on this. I still have the needle in there. I started with the house. And I substituted for the pinkish color. I have both. For the pinkish color, I actually substituted, and it's not really showing up, DMC20. Because I wanted a more orangish pink. There we go. I wanted the more orangish pink. And it's really pale on this fabric. This is 28 count Mushroom Lagana. But I wanted it to be like that. I want it to be, you know, paler. And sorry, I don't know if I've been saying what I've been stitching stuff on. I apologize. Okay, I have one more whip. This is Lori Holt's Sew by Row. Let me get this done, showing the chart. This is a style that a lot of people are doing. I love this. It's a lot of fun. I wish I could stitch this faster because I want it done. And I'm working on my sewing machines. I changed my base handle and wheel to the 04 color, the gray color. Just my aesthetic. That's the way I like it. And that was not my idea. Someone in the Kimberly Stitch Squad, which is the Kimberly Jolly Fat Quarter Shop Facebook group, made the mistake of using that color on one of their machines, and it was the middle machine, and they posted it in the group, and then they used the correct colors on the other two machines. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, I really like that. So I decided to do all three of my machines like that. And when you get down to the next row, this is that gray color. So I'm going to change this to something else so that it's not all this gray and then gray again. That way there's not too much gray. So, but I really like it. I'm enjoying that. They have a new stitch along starting with the Bonnie and Camille. And I just talked about this in my whip thing. That I didn't like it. I started it and it was just boring. I didn't like the fabric. So I'm going to join that style. It's the Quilt Bee something. I'll put the picture up. I forgot what it was called last time too. I actually am a member of that Block of the Month Club, and I haven't started the quilt yet. So I have several months of the quilt blocks that I need to start. And I do want the matching cross stitch. So I'm going to start it over on Lori Holt's 25 count Cloud Lugana and see if I like it better. So if I start it and I don't like it any better, I will unpick it and just stop and just not stitch it. There's no point stitching it if I don't like it. So those are my whips. I don't have any haul. I just have some things that I didn't remember to show before. So, and I have a couple freebies. So the first freebie is one that I'm sure you have seen on other Flosstubes, and that is, I'm going to kind of show it far away, but this is free. It's a free chart. This is from Hello from Liz Matthews. And if you sign up for her newsletter, you can get this. She's releasing these anniversary smalls, and I just really like this. I thought about stitching this. My wedding anniversary is next week. I thought about trying to stitch that for that. I don't know. It's going to go in my pattern box. We'll see. Another freebie, I'm going to put it on the screen. You've probably seen on other Flosstubes. Is from Whilst Iris Naps. And it is the, I thought I printed it out. I started to print out, my printer ran out of ink. So, it is the 3 bunny the bunny back sides with the heart for the tail, and then 3 carrots, and I really want to stitch those for Easter. They are so, so, so cute. And she also included the text for Happy Easter and one other one, maybe welcome or something like that, but I'll put it up here, and if you are interested in that and you haven't already, you can go to her website and print those out for free. I had one night when I was doing a little retail therapy, and I ordered 2 charts. One is the May snapshot, and this is printed on my home printer, so this is a really poor copy. I need to just go ahead and put the photo up there. And this is from Pine Mountain Designs. I just really love the May. I like them all, but the May one really stood out, so I would like to stitch that one. And I am kitting it up in this other project bag that I made this week with that same Flower Market fabric in the aqua colorway, aqua or teal, whatever you want to call it. And this one I just did the same fabric. The inside is a coordinating polka dot. So I've got all of the call for DMC for that. I just need to pick out a fabric. And I ordered, and I printed this out, but like I said, my printer's running out of ink, so you can't really see it. So I'll put the picture on the screen. Cottontail & Co. By Cherry Hill Stitchery. I ordered the PDF for that, and it's the 3 bunny rabbits. And I love that. It uses Classic Colorworks, but I am going to probably substitute DMC or other Classic Colorworks or other fancy floss, because I don't want to order more thread right now. I'm just trying to conserve because of what I'll talk about in plans. Okay, so the last one, I may have shown this. I don't remember showing it, so I'm going to. My last chart that I had ordered, I don't remember showing this, sorry if I did, is the Spring Madame Chantilly Celebrate Spring Tray. I'm going to start this either today or tomorrow. And there is a stitch along that Evelyn across the pond and someone else is doing. And I've already made my floss rings, floss tags with the method that I showed in my last video using 911 Stitchers tutorial. I have to pick a fabric for that too out of my fabric bin. So I love that. That may go in my March Madness bracket, I'm not sure. And for plans, this isn't really plans, I'm not sure. The March Madness is my big plan, but another thing that I forgot to talk about, if you're still with me at the end of this video, is I am participating in the Layla May Stitching with the Housewives online Zoom retreat, and I am so excited about that. But because of that, I am trying to be very careful about, you know, anything that I buy. I do have one chart that I purchased that is lost. I don't want to say lost. It is hanging out somewhere in a USPS distribution center, and it's a chart I really want to start, but it's somewhere in the continental United States, just hanging out. But you know, I did sign up for that retreat, and you know, I'm very, very excited about it. Ooh, so if you are signed up for that treat, comment below. You know, there is a Facebook group for it, but there's so many people in that Facebook group that it's hard to like catch everyone's names. So, and also I'm going to work on some more project bags. The Christy from, oh goodness, Crosshatch Quilts. She has made those project bags with the little mini charms popular, and I had bought these mini charm packs a while back when I saw hers in the hopes of making some of those. So I have a folktale mini charm pack. I have a goals and goodies mini charm pack, and this is Halloween. And then I have an apricot and ash mini charm pack. So I hope in the next couple weeks, I may not, I don't know, to work on making at least one of those quilted project bags with one of these. And I have coordinating fabrics for these two. This one I'll have to come up with something that I have in my stash. So I do want to work on more project bags. So I think that's it. Please, if you're not a subscriber, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. My husband says you need to say like, comment, and subscribe. Because I never say that. But I do appreciate if you subscribe. I've noticed I have a lot of new subscribers, so I appreciate that. I would also love it.
It's kind of spread out on your notifications. It's not really that much.
Oh, my son says it's not really that much.
Check your analytics.
He said check your analytics. So my son is the expert on YouTube and all that. So he's like my YouTube coach. So anyway, so I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. And if you are on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. If you are participating in March Madness, please tag me in your post or comment below with your name or something so that I can go vote on your March Madness post. I would love to vote and help you decide. I would love for you to vote for me. I think it sounds like a lot of fun. So I think that's it. I am
again.
Never a dull moment. Alright, bye guys.